I'm getting a lot of stories these days from what we call newbies. Those are cancer patients who have finally finished treatment and are in remission. Um, I want to talk about what's called the new normal. Okay, my name is Paul, and this is my book, Paul's Heart: Life as a Dad and a 35-Year Cancer Survivor, available on Amazon. In particular, I want to talk about that first month that you're in remission and that you're done. And I really wish that oncologists would talk to their patients about this first month because really it's just as important as all the other months of having gone through the treatments. There's a lot emotionally, mentally to prepare as you go back into your life after cancer. Okay, there's an adaptation to a different life, a different version of life than what you knew, and it's going to be different, whether it's physical, emotional, or practical. Okay, there's the realization that you're going to regain control over your life. Remember that? The past many months, possibly years, that you had no control over your life. You had appointments to go here, you had appointments for your treatments, you had all these other things telling you what you had to do. You had no control over anything, and now you've got control of your life again. And it takes adjusting to get used to. There's living with uncertainty, the worries about relapsing with every symptom that pops back up again just because of what it meant before. Doesn't necessarily mean now. Okay, the follow ups, the physical changes, growing the hair back, and it does come back. And then, most notably, there's a different outlook on life for many of us. Um, if you've heard the expression, don't sweat the small stuff, I learned a lot having really gone through so much with my cancer experience. I don't let the little things bother me. And it actually helps me when having to deal with the larger things in life. Learning to have better control over things that I can control, learning to let go of the things that I can't control. Okay, there's a different outlook on time, relationships, experience. My thoughts are no longer dominated by having material things. The great job, big house, trips, and everything else like that. There are things that matter inside to me that I make the priority now. And of course, there are the emotional adjustments. There are events that can happen in life that can all of a sudden make you go, wow, I really appreciate what I've gone through, and I'm glad that I made it. There's a whole lot of emotional adjusting that has to be done. And then, of course, there's learning to trust your body. Your body betrayed you having cancer, but you got it through. You got through. So there's learning to trust that, every time something happens with your body, that it doesn't necessarily mean the cancer's back or anything. You have to learn to trust. Your first month, you're done. Okay, this is huge. Your body still has to rid itself of that final dose. So, yeah, you're still probably going to feel like, bleh, okay, still feel like crap. But your body is starting to regenerate. Now that it's not going to have the next dose of poison or toxicity coming into you, it's going to happen. You're going to get stronger, and yes, you're going to have to spend time to assess relationships, which includes friends and family. Because there were people that did not stick around for you, and that's going to hurt. And it's going to take time to forgive, and if you want to welcome them back in. But you've got to realize not everybody was there, but those that are there and are still there, they're important to you. Okay? And those are the ones that you need to focus on moving forward in your new normal. But you got through the worst. And again, I wrote about it in my book. Okay, 37 years. I still remember what that was like 35 years ago or 36 years ago when I finished my treatments. Those memories are all fresh to me. I wrote that book by heart. I didn't have to look back through my records or whatever. Everything was put down from my memory. But I can tell you, it does get better, and it will get better. So as you go through your first month, your new normal, enjoy. Until next time, this is Paul's Heart.